Dania is a CEO and co-founder of the web platform CollegeNode. It helps foreign students learn how to apply to American colleges. So Dan, it's not just here in the United States. We know that there are many Chinese schools, Chinese immersion programs, but now as we saw, we're seeing it pop up all across South America. What kind of growth have you seen in the demand for Mandarin learning across the world?
Oh, it's phenomenal. Usually the demand for a language is proportional to the growth of the GDP of the country. So as China's GDP continue to grow at 6 to 7% a year, the export continue to grow, import continue to grow. These are fuel demand for people who can speak the local language and Chinese. So historically, it has been a lot of Chinese learning Spanish, learning English, but now we're beginning to see a reversal in which a lot of more and more local people are beginning to learn Chinese as Chinese tourists, Chinese cultural influence enter these countries.
And we're also seeing children, in that story, we're seeing schools, young children learning how to speak Chinese. Is it China's growing influence in the world that's adding to this, or what do you think are the big motivations behind this trend?
Well, there are two big, great motivations. One is that parents are very sensitive to trends. So for Mexican parents seeing that there are a lot more trade with China, they want to teach their kids Chinese to prepare them way down the road when they get a job. But another trend is the cultural trend. I have known American teenagers learning Chinese just so they can play Chinese video games. So as the country began to grow more and more into different sectors, the cultural influence is the organic growth that you're looking for.
I had not heard that. Video games, probably likely down the road, movies, travel to China as well. Is that something that we could see? What about the business of learning Chinese? The teaching, the tutoring, is this translating into dollars?
Oh yeah, absolutely. As you demand, for Chinese teacher, you will have to pay them a pretty good salary in order to attract the best one. And in countries like Mexico, there are not a lot of people who actually speak Chinese. So what you see is a lot of Chinese who actually speak Spanish travel to Mexico to become Chinese teachers. And as local demand increase, you will already see this trend continue accelerating.
And I've seen these companies, these online companies where you can learn Chinese via the computer, like with little kids. Have you seen any growth in high school exchange programs? Traditionally, it's not something where in the United States you see kids traveling, high school students traveling to China. Usually they wait until they're older, college. But are you seeing more interest in going to China to learn Mandarin?
Oh yeah, over the board. Traditionally, it has been college when American students began to learn Chinese, but now it's becoming younger and younger. The high schools in Washington, D.C., many of them actually already offer Chinese. And now we're seeing as young as elementary school, some of the elementary school have Chinese in conjunction with Spanish as a foreign language. And again, as the country's GDP grow, this is really an inevitable trend.
They want to be there, they want to learn how to speak the language. Dania, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.